I'm more shocked than upset, to be honest. I always knew this day was coming at some point, but I just never thought that I would live to see it. Where people are on the internet taking serious health advice from a literal meth addict.
You do meth.
Yeah, I haven't done meth in 2 weeks, but I do meth. Yeah.
I sometimes do a little nicotine pouch, and I think I'm being like real bad. You know, I'm like, oh, I should I? But I would say
for a good one here.
the maxed version of the pouch is meth. Why do you do meth?
The world has gotten so unserious that Michael Knowles have went from interviewing world leaders to interviewing a 19-year-old meth addict who beats himself with a hammer. It might not seem like it, but there was a reason why people like that was kept in psych wards 40, 50 years ago. But today, they get internet fame, TikTok influence, and they get to not only disastrously impact their lives, but they also get to severely impact the trajectory of other people's lives, especially children who follows them. Now, just so we're all clear who we're talking about, his name is Clav. He's the first DEI hire influencer. Up until like 5 months ago, he had little to no following on all platforms, probably less than 20,000 on all platforms. He was only known as one of Nick Fuentes' little racist homies.
Guys, I'm gonna do a Nick bomb right over here. Ready? Chat. Nick bomb. Nick bomb. Wait, show the area. Show the area.
You can tell like a real when you meet.
The looksmaxxing nonsense wasn't getting him any views, so I guess he resorted to the N-word shtick, obviously, right? He's Nick Fuentes' homie. What would you expect? So he goes from hanging out with Nick Fuentes. I guess when Nick Fuentes rose in popularity, he began to ask for favors and ask huge content creators to link up with Clav. Then all of a sudden, he pops up on a private jet with Aiden Ross, and now he's a part of the streamer community, which is obviously the natural progression here. Go from saying the N-word, disparaging black people, hanging out with Nick Fuentes, to now being Aiden Ross's boy. Which, honestly, I wasn't shocked at all. Like, think about all the little, like, sketchy, nefarious, racist white boys you see online. Chances are you're probably introduced to them through Aiden Ross. Like Aiden Ross' platform has been like a portal from racist underworld to mainstream. Think about Nick Fuentes. Think about the first time you've seen a viral Nick Fuentes clip. Chances are it was through Aiden Ross, right? So Aiden Ross has been, like the gatekeeper for all racist underworld dweebs to now have a mainstream career. But that's not the point of this video. I don't care about this kid politics at all. But what I do care about is this kid has the ears and the audience of a lot of young people. I'll make this as blunt as possible. If this kid continues to have the eyes and ears of young people and continue to give them advice, we're going to have a lot of casualties, bro. There's going to be a lot of children who end up dead listening to this dude's advice. A lot of the damage he's doing doesn't come from, I guess, his racism. It comes from this ideology and philosophy he's pushing called looksmaxxing.
Good-looking guy. You have intentionally become a good-looking guy. Mm-hmm. You have looksmaxxed.
Right.
What is looksmaxxing?
Looksmaxxing is the furthest extent that you could take self-improvement, right? So we've seen a lot of different forms of that over the years, mostly with bodybuilding. I would say was the main one for a while for men, from about 2010 up until 2020. And then it sort of shifted into looksmaxxing. That kind of crept into the space from different niche, forums, especially those of PSL, which was just three.
Pumpkin spice latte, obviously.
No, just 3 looksmaxxing forums. So that influence kind of crept in, and it's very obvious that the face is more important than the physique. So people were doing this self-improvement, and it wasn't really getting them the results that they needed. So that's why the further step needed to be taken to sort of go about improving upon your entire life.
So there are all these bodybuilding forums, and you say, well, what about this phrase, the butterface? But you hear about the butt. You never hear about butter body. Uh-huh. So you draw the conclusion from that, hey, you guys are all working out to build up your bodies, but the face is more important to physical attractiveness.
Absolutely.
So that's what distinguishes just working out and hitting the gym and bodybuilding from looksmaxxing.
As somebody who's on my own health journey, I'm losing weight. I understand that losing weight, working out, eating right, and living an overall healthy lifestyle is a net positive to your life quality. It can never hurt, but they take it to the extreme. These dweebs take it to the max. They're willing to do whatever it takes to achieve whatever aesthetic they're looking to achieve. This dude has been on tests since the age of 14 years old. He's been on test for so long, he's currently infertile. He made himself infertile for a better jawline.
Yeah, I was on a little bit of everything, to be honest, growing up. Test at 14 was like one of the first.
How do you even get testosterone at 14?
I just ordered it on the internet. But it's a bit of a commitment, like in terms of, you're going to have to be on steroids if you want to do them properly for forever. But I just think what I always tell people is, why wouldn't you want to be on something that's so good and so beneficial to your life forever?
People are asking, are you going to be infertile? Do you worry about having children?
So right now, I am infertile, but I'm not able to have a kid right now. But if I wanted to, there's a protocol I can put in place to be immediately good again.
Wait, why are you infertile right now?
So it's just like a negative feedback loop when you're not needing to produce testosterone anymore, because your body realizes, okay, we're getting it from an exogenous
So you're not producing
source.
any testosterone naturally?
No.
None?
No.
I'm not taking TRT, bro.
Well, how do you think it works? You just don't. Your body realizes we're at a certain level we don't need anymore, so it stops producing it.
He made himself infertile at 19 years old to get a better jawline to impress social media. There's nothing more absurd. Now, he keeps telling himself, oh, I just got to stop it and I'll eventually get it back. Now, it's probably likely he will get fertile again, right? There's probably a good chance he would, but it's not a guarantee. There are permanent risks here. You could permanently be infertile. You could never have kids. You could have made a decision at 19 years old that drastically affected the trajectory of your life forever because you wanted a better jawline, right? Now, again, becoming infertile at 19 isn't the only dumb thing like this kid does. This kid also promotes bone smashing, which apparently is they take a hammer to their face to break their own bones, hoping it grows back stronger, and they get the square jawline aesthetic.
What if you were to dedicate all that time to bone smashing? Imagine where you could have been.
Is that a euphemism?
No, bone smashing?
What is bone smashing? That sounds like what do.
No, it's where you induce microfractures, and this principle follows Wolff's law that a bone is going to grow back stronger, after you induce these localized microtraumas. So you're going to lay in your bed to brace your head for CTE, and you're going to bone smash.
You're going to lay in your bed and brace your head for CTE. Isn't that like brain damage?
Well, no. So that's why you lay in your
Okay.
bed, and that's going to grow your facial bones.
You smash, like you punch yourself in the face?
Yeah.
If I punch myself in the face, I'm going to get like a nice mewed up jaw?
Yeah, according to Wolff's law, right?
Do you punch yourself in the face?
Yes.
How hard?
Like reasonably. Like
Just your fist?
Yeah. I used to use a hammer, but my parents would go into my bathroom and take it away. So that was
You would hit yourself in the head with a hammer?
Yeah, I know. It sounds a little silly. Like people are gonna think I'm trolling, but this is all like on YouTube. Like you can find this stuff.
Yo, this kid shouldn't be allowed to have an audience under 21 years old. Imagine a 13 or 14-year-old listening to this thinking, I'm about to do the same thing. Bruh, is a perfect jawline worth facial paralysis? Right? You take a hammer to your face, you ruining your nerves. Now, facial paralysis isn't like a once in a... No, this is a pretty likely outcome here. And you can't even predict exactly where, like to the exact part where the bone is going to fracture. So you take a hammer to your face on this side, you fracture your bone. You think you're about to fracture your bone to the exact centimeter on this side as well? No, right? It's going to be off. It's going to grow back lopsided. Ask him why he got surgery after bone smashing. It's not going to grow back how you think it's going to grow back. It's going to be lopsided at some point as well, right? So facial paralysis, internal bleeding, right? The blood might just calcify from you going to your face with a hammer. It calcifies. Now there's infections going on. Soft tissue damage, joint damage. Now you got permanent joint damage and you got clicking for life, right? Your jaw is clicking for life. It's not worth it at all, man. It's just not, right? And this kid was not a bad-looking kid, right? He listened to social media. It got in his head. He got influenced. And now he's going about, he's on a fast-track pace for an early death because this is not the way you want to live your life, man.
I almost don't want to ask, did it work?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Yeah, bone smashing is legit. I mean, you even take a look at like UFC fighters, like their brow ridge over their career, or x-rays of their shin, and like there's massive amounts of hypertrophy in their bones.
Are there any downsides to hitting yourself in the head with a hammer?
No. No, as long as you have proper bracing, you're going to be fine. But that's what I mean. That's just like one example of something that you could do instead of political activism. Is bone smashing.
I'll tell you, sometimes in my political activism, I would rather hit myself in the head with a hammer.
Based.
Without question.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. Like, just dedicating your time to ascending as an individual instead of like...
One of his ways to ascending, as we talked about earlier in this video, is not just bone smashing, right? Which, again, like, that's dangerous as well, right? Taking tests since the age of 14, that's also dangerous and infertile. So currently, this kid is infertile at 19, and he's also a meth addict, okay? That's one of his ways to ascend and stay lean and suppress his appetite.
Well, because meth is very similar in terms of its makeup to something like Adderall, but it's got a little bit better psychoactive benefits, meaning the Adderall has levoamphetamine in it, which is a physical stimulant. And that's not necessarily ideal for a lot of the things that I'm doing, maybe task-oriented stuff sitting on a computer. It's like, why do I need a physical stimulant? And meth also has a longer half-life. And what meth actually is dextromethamphetamine. What Adderall is, 75% of it at least, is dexamphetamine. These are very similar, just the addition of the methyl group, making it longer acting. And the reason I also like it to be longer acting for a looksmaxxing context is stimulants cause appetite suppressants.
But you're a big guy. In other words, don't you need a lot of calories to...
Well, no, I'm trying to maintain my leanness, because the leaner you are, the more angular your face. And while I do use GLP-1s, sometimes that's not enough to suppress my appetite. So I need to, rely on stimulants.
Or there are downsides to meth.
Yeah, in high doses, it's neurotoxic, but its risk profile isn't that much higher than that of Adderall. But I think that it's not a good idea to do what I'm doing. I just really wanted to ascend hard when I first started, getting viral on social media. So I did the meth. I advocate against stimulants. I don't think that kids should be prescribed Adderall at the ages they are.
Yeah.
I think that people are going to misuse their stimulant prescription more than not.
19 is an adult, so do what you do, I guess. But to say this, to know that it's not worth it, to know that it's risky, and then tell your audience, well, this is how I got really handsome. Hey, listen, I got really, really, really handsome, which, and even that part I disagree with, bro. I'm not going to judge no guy's looks, right? But this dude, to me, he calls himself a 10. Like, this dude ain't no 10, bro. Pause, okay? But, like you say, oh, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. While at the same time saying, well, I did this to get really handsome. I'm not saying do it, but, that's how I got really handsome. That's damn near you saying do it. You telling a group of 13, 14-year-old incels who follow you, listen, I got really handsome and really tried by doing meth, but hey, listen, don't do it. Man, cut it out, bro. Right? You should just kept that to yourself then. You should have just not let that out if that's what you do. But please, bro. Right? Now, I also see he's also like slowly transitioning and making his way into like the far-right radical political scene. Bruh, I'm not taking no political commentary advice from this kid, bruh. And I hope y'all don't either, bruh. All right? Y'all please stop taking advice from this meth addict. All right? Y'all let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think about this video? And if you're still watching this video, click on this video here somewhere on my screen to find out how the Tyler Perry scandal just keeps getting worse. He's super cooked, man. I'm going to see you guys in this video. And if you want to support me, like and subscribe in the comment, it helps. But sending a hype to this video is how you tell the YouTube algorithm that you want more people to see this, and this is how we grow. So please send a hype if you can afford it. I'm going to see you guys in this video somewhere on my screen. I'm out of here, folks. Peace.